Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Alders, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. And on behalf of Weigel's, that's fuel and food that's fast, fresh, and friendly, here's your East Tennessee weather update. You know, we got a lot of rain to talk about. Oh, I know it's been what's characterized most of Christmas 2023. In fact, you can still see we have some rain showers across the heart of the valley and back toward northeast sections of Tennessee near to the Tri-Cities. But the showers will be persistent today. They won't be the whole day. You might have argued that it didn't rain all day yesterday, depending on what town or county you were in. But compare and contrast last Christmas. Last Christmas, I put a little update on the last 10 Christmases or so. It was 30 degrees and 12 for a low. So in 2022, we didn't get much lower than 12. 12 was the low temperature. It was 4 the day before, and 30 the high in 2022. So be thankful for small favors, because we got up to 65 yesterday in Oak Ridge. It was 57. So 65 Knoxville, 57 Oak Ridge, about an 8-degree difference just between McGee, Tyson, and Oak Ridge. You don't see that every day. But it is interesting to note all the rain that we see, and it's creating some poor visibility, whether it's fog or just low clouds. The visibility isn't perfect. It's not all that great where you see some gray and white areas, so be extra careful if you're driving this morning. Perhaps the holiday is over officially for you. You're not on the break, the extended break. You're heading back home. If you're traveling today, please be extra careful. Our temperature right now is 53 degrees. I'm on both on Facebook and YouTube, but I want to encourage you to make sure you pick up a bottle of the eggnog. It's back before you leave town. Weigel's eggnog is back. It's for a limited time, by the way, and there's only a few days left of 2023. I imagine the eggnog will disappear shortly thereafter, but it's back. It's Tennessee's favorite. It's the eggnog that everyone loves. I picked up a new half-gallon on Saturday evening at the Weigel's at Middlebrook. Talked to my buddy Randy. You know, it's fun. Farm to store 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. But make sure you pick up a bottle of the eggnog because it's back, and it's also my sponsor. But I want to talk about the weather, because also with the temperature at 53, yesterday was mild. Clearly, far and away, 53 is not what you might expect for the 26th of December in the morning. The normal low this time of year is around freezing, and we're not even near there. We're 53 to start the morning. We will finish about 10 degrees warmer, given the fact I expect we'll be in the low to mid-60s today. So these are the current temperatures. I'm kind of curious to know where you are. Good morning. And just want to say, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Was Santa good to you? Was your neighbor good to you? Maybe your neighbor brought over some cookies. Like we were doing that type of thing this past Christmas. And I had family in town, so it was wonderful. But thank you for thinking of me. And I was thinking of you guys on Christmas. By the way, if you have a comment, let me know. I'm on Facebook. Jeff says, good morning, Captain. Hope you had a blessed Christmas. I did, Jeff. Thank you. I hope you did, too. He says, please send us some snow soon. I'm going to show you future snowfall. Plus, don't turn that dial, as it were. Boy, I'm showing my age. Don't turn that web address, because you know what? I'm going to show you the Vols forecast for the Citrus Bowl. Aren't they playing on Monday? They are. They're going to be in Orlando. They're going to be playing the big game, 1 o'clock on Monday. And I'm going to talk about that forecast here in a moment. But thank you, Jeff. Wanda says, good morning. What do you think for New Year's? Going to get to that coming up. Wanda, thank you. And Danny says, good morning, David. Hope you had a great Christmas. Go Vols. Nice tie. Yeah, I'm excited about the game. And you know, you got Lady Vols basketball this weekend. Plus, you have the Citrus Bowl on Monday. So, I mean, it is like a long holiday period. But some of us have to get back to work, and that's why I'm here presenting this to you. So I want you to know that temperatures are starting mild here on a Tuesday, the 26th. It's 54 in Morristown. Shout out to Hamlin County. And 55 in Rockwood, Kingston, Harriman, 50 degrees in Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County. So that's where we stand at this moment. Temperatures are very, very mild, no doubt. But as we move ahead and talk about the radar again, because I want to show you how concentrated this rain is. So if you are headed west, let's pretend you're traveling to Nashville. You're actually moving away from the rain. Maybe you're headed to Memphis. Same difference. But if you're headed to the Biltmore or in that direction, headed to Asheville, headed to the Tri-Cities, you're just going to kind of move into the same rainy pattern. It's raining around, say, Greenville, South Carolina. It's raining in western North Carolina, and that's kind of where the rain is coming up from the south. So it's not going to be quick to leave. There are some snow concerns across the Dakotas. They've been under blizzard warnings. I don't say that lightly. From the Weather Service, blizzard warnings in blue in parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, more snow and blowing and drifting, a real problem. So if you look at the landscape, for anyone traveling by air, it looks quiet in Texas. Florida looks okay. But boy, you have a lot of snow in the heartland from anywhere from essentially Kansas, Nebraska, and back toward Denver, where they're getting some snow, and even a wintry mix further north. But I do have a good news item to report. December, as I've talked to on this very platform before, December is one of the soggiest months of the year. And you say, where are you getting that information? I'm getting that from the Weather Service because the normals that we utilize 1991 through 2020, if you look at July, July has the biggest number at 5.25 because of the typical summer thunderstorms that are gully washers. It tends to skew the averages a little higher in July. But December comes back like gangbusters with a 5-inch average for the month of December. And you might ask yourself, are we out of a drought situation? I can tell you this, we have vastly improved because as of 6 a.m. this very morning, I've done the math for us, we're up 5.25, almost to 5.5, 5.43. We have now exceeded the average for the month, and we're not done with the month because today's the 26th. So we have now surpassed, this is the first above average month since August. Because August we had nearly 7 inches. And some of you are like, make it stop. Well, be careful what you wish for because we made it stop in September, had only 0.42. October had a little more than a ½ inch. And November was below average. But now, like the tide at the ocean, it was low tide this morning, I promise. But now the tide is high. Constantly changes. That's how weather works. It's not a mystery, although it can be to some. So, I don't know what's happening. It's what it is. It tends to recuperate in the winter time. So now we've had a surplus of December rain. And some of you are probably wishing, make it stop. By the way, we got to get to the clock here, because I also want to get to the Vols forecast. You know, we're just days away from 2024. Where did 2023 go? You might be asking yourself. Well, the big ball will drop. We have no control over that. And when it does, hopefully you'll be in a festive spirit because the Citrus Bowl, our Vols are playing, go Big Orange, down in Orlando. You say, oh, Orlando, we're talking the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. You know, I have to have a sponsor there. I guess it's Cheez-It. I prefer eggnog myself, but I digress. Let's get to the Citrus Bowl, Iowa versus Tennessee. We're, of course, 8-4. They're 10-3. So if you're watching this game, you'll find it on ABC. And it's a kickoff at 62 is my view. And I think we'll be in the mid-60s down there. So if you're traveling to Orlando for the big game, high around 66 degrees, fourth quarter about 64. And the winds might be a little brisk from the west, 5 to 15, but it's Florida. It's partly cloudy. If you're going, you've got a nice weather day down at the Citrus Bowl. That's at the Camping World Stadium in Orlando. So excited about the Go Vols. That's another victory I hope is in our view. 55 in Oak Ridge right now. If you're just joining me, it is 6:47. 56 in Wartburg, 50 in Crossville, and Oneida, Jacksboro, coming in at 54 degrees. You'll notice as we head out the door, and we can do that because I know it's probably not a school day, right? But it is an out-the-door day because you got to get to maybe leaving Grandma's house, trying to get home. Maybe you have family. I do have some rain in this picture, although I don't show much of it in the backdrop because I do expect it'll be gray today. And if we get some sunshine, it would come later in the afternoon, but not much. High temperatures about 63 degrees. Wind speeds have slowed down quite a bit. Even the wind advisory, I should say high wind warning, was expired a little early. Earlier than anticipated. From the Weather Service, they made it expire, but that's okay. The winds have not been that. Wind chill, that's a funny slide to laugh at because just a couple of days ago, this was pertinent. But today, it has no application because it's so warm. And we're now about 11 degrees warmer in La Follette as compared to this time yesterday morning, but it's about 3 degrees cooler in Crossville. I want to get to your questions. Got a lot to cover here, but I just want to show you the temperatures. If you're traveling today, these are current readings. If you are headed west, you fall off a temperature cliff by the time you get to Memphis. They're in the 30s this morning. It's in the 40s in Jackson and 50 in Nashville. Good morning once again to say, good morning. Hope you had a good Christmas. If you have a good Christmas story, I'd love to read about it. Wanda Post says she's wanting to know about New Year's. Stephen Snyder, one of my premium members, says good morning was chilly yesterday. It was indeed. In fact, it was quite chilly. Let me see if I find my, let's see, back over here to YouTube. Where my YouTube channel? Here it is. I think it's over here. Nope, I found it over here. Over here is my forecast. There it is. And you can see what, if you have a comment, leave me on YouTube because I would love to find out what you are expecting in terms of your travel. Are you traveling to the Citrus Bowl on Monday? Are you just trying to get back to your main base? Maybe you're visiting from town and you're just visiting East Tennessee. We're hoping that you're glad that you're here. But if you leave me, be the first comment on YouTube. We'd love to see you here this morning. By the way, temperatures right now, 51 in Asheville, 54 in Johnson City, and it's 52 in Jackson. Those are the current readings at this particular time. All right, let's look at the readings. We talked about the temperatures. Now, As far as the clouds, lots of them today. Not going to get around that because of it's so soggy, but these thicker clouds in blue are sliding across from the south. So all this moisture that keeps ever present. It seems like it's here and it's in and out. The scattered showers will continue here on Tuesday with mainly gray skies is what I expect. If it's not thicker clouds, it's low clouds, so you're going to have a hard time getting much in the way of sunshine today. And tomorrow, I anticipate more clouds in the morning, more sunshine in the afternoon. Once you get past, say, Cookeville, it may have a brighter outlook for you if you're traveling westbound or perhaps even north to the north and west. That's the way things are shaping up at this particular time. As I pop back up over on Facebook, if you have a comment, let me know. Love to know it. But sunrises this morning, may not see much of it, is at 7:44, and the sun will be going down at 5:29. The good news here is we're actually extending seconds to each day. We've now moved past the winter solstice. It's now reversed. We're now adding a little bit of time, so if you are one that might be susceptible to the moody thing that happens at wintertime, then maybe, just maybe, this will be good news for you, that we'll find a little more daylight. The length of day begins to get a little bit more gradual. Here's where I expect to be here on the 26th. I did modify my high to 63 today for Knoxville. Still think we could hit 66, though, for Newport and Sevierville, 64. Morristown, White Pine, Talbot, about 64. Jefferson City, about 64 today. But compare and contrast that to Crossville, much cooler to the west, much milder to the east. And it has everything to do with the slow-moving front. 58 in Oneida, expecting 55 Jamestown. And if you're in the Southern Valley, should be around 60 for Athens and 64 in Tellico Plains. I got a little note from Wanda. Wanda's saying hello. Are we going to get hard rain like we did last one? Probably not much today. But I'd say there's a 60% chance of rain. But the quantity of rain, the bulk of it, has already played its hand. We're still going to get some showers, but I don't think it'll be any worse than what you had last night or yesterday, or even very early this morning, because there was some moderate rain. Even where I'm in West Knox County just a couple of hours ago, don't expect that to be repeated, but we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe just shifting to the east as it moves. Marilyn sending me some stars. You're very kind. Thank you very much, Marilyn. And Alice says good morning. Hope you had a great Christmas. Have a great day. Thank you for the updates. Nancy Douglas Moses says, good morning, David. Will we have snow by New Year's? I'm going to cover that coming up. In fact, that's next. That's next. Stay with me. Hang with me, because I know there's a lot to talk about. But the high temperature today should aim toward 63. So here are my headlines, along with the cold and the snow. That's coming up here. Headlines, we're talking warm with showers today, clouds to sunshine tomorrow, with some spots of rain still possible, especially east of I-75 tomorrow. And then some drops and flakes will be possible on Friday. What does that mean? Might mean that the colder hills see more flakes. Those who live like us, live in the valley, mere mortals, we get drops. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Or sometimes it's just a wet snowflake where it falls and it becomes a little drop on the windshield. That very well will happen, I think, on Friday. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. And the reason it'll get colder is the air aloft is getting colder. Watch the colder colors come into town. We've got these red arrows through today, 3 o'clock, all coming up from the south, southeast, upper level winds. But then the cold air starts to rotate because they've had a blizzard in the Midwest, don't you know? Some of the cold air wants to find a home in Knoxville and all the way to Memphis and all the way to Mississippi. It's going to get sharply colder in time for New Year's. So that cold light blue area over us by the 29th will be indicative of the cold air. In fact, our high temperature Friday will be lucky to pass 42. So the surface temperature may struggle just to get to 42 degrees for a high on Friday. That's what this looks like. That's what this looks like to me. And while this cold air spins, it could spin in a few flakes. And then it gets sharply colder, as I think Nancy wanted to know, about the cold air, possible snow. There's some bitter cold air coming down from Chicago, and that's New Year's Day. So it's cold here. That's why you might be inviting. 66 sounds nice in, say, Orlando, but that's cold for even them. But at the time we hit the first day of January, that's the game day for the Citrus Bowl. It's going to be pretty chilly in Orlando. Mid-60s is not all that together warm for them. Now, what about snow? Again, long-range models, just the nature of the models, they're terrible. They just don't do a good job. But they give us some ideas, maybe some pattern changes, some recognition, some trends. We can take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take you through time. Not much to see here in the short term. We go into, say, the 28th. 29th, oh, well, there's something, well, that's interesting. Oh, wait a second. Does that show 28 inches around Snowshoe? Oh, that's a heavy snow in West Virginia potentially through Elvis's birthday. It's possible. Maybe we get more here. Maybe it fills in. Maybe we see a couple of inches in the valley with significantly heavier in the mountains. But you know what? It's way too early to know for sure because this is just a tease because the Mother Nature will not really make her presence known probably within 3 days of an event. But it's something to watch. For sure, early next year, there's something to watch. We'll be keeping an eye on that as the model changes each and every day, as my premium members know all too well. 53 is our current temperature at the airport. Relative humidity, 100%. We have fog, we have rain, we have no wind to speak of. Our valley planner, gray skies today, rain showers. I'd say now about a 60% chance you get wet from about the time the sun comes up to the time the sun goes down. We're headed toward about 63. We'll be in the 50s right through about 10 a.m., mid-50s, and probably closer to 60 by lunchtime today and into 1 o'clock. So be prepared for a nice average, well, actually above average day. Chance of precipitation 60% today, 20% tomorrow. By the way, if you haven't picked up a bottle of the eggnog, it's back. Weigel's eggnog is back. It's yummy, rich, and creamy. It's kind of like a last call, so to speak, because we have only a few days left of the new year. It is Tennessee's favorite. I say we only a few days left of the old year because the new year will be here before you know it. But if you want to grab a bottle or a half gallon like I did on Saturday evening as I went to Weigel's at Middlebrook, I had to pick up another half gallon because I had guests. I had family in town. My parents were in town, so it's nice to have them here. By the way, you can see whether you pick up a small bottle, a big bottle, a pint, a quart, or a half gallon, it's just better when it's fresh. It's just better when it's farm to store, and it's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. So make sure you pick up a bottle of the eggnog. Very happy to have them as my sponsor. By the way, the Storm Prediction Center shows, again, not a whole lot of color here. So if you're expecting a severe weather outbreak somewhere in the lower 48, this is not your day. Where we could get some thunder is where the rain is persistent. It's now 6:56. I'll be done in about 3 minutes, 6:57. But there may be some thunderstorms for travelers headed to Charlotte, headed to Raleigh, or headed to Columbia, South Carolina, or even Charleston, West Virginia. That's where the rain will be pushing to the east, and there may be some convection or thunderstorms from Morristown to the Tri-Cities today. By tomorrow, that chance will be confined, it appears, from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center, along the Outer Banks. That's where it should be. So if you have any worries about thunder tomorrow, it'll be confined there, and then there's really no thunder expected in the lower 48 Thursday as things start to level off, or at least calm down from the blizzard that they had in the Midwest. By the way, front moves away a little bit today, but it's a slow mover. It's like a creeper, finally moving toward, say, the Carolinas, and then we still have the rain possibility. See how it just kind of flares up? But if you're west of Cookeville, you might be scratching your head, or even Crossville. It's not raining here. It probably won't rain much in Crossville or Cookeville from this point forward because it is a little further east of you. But once we move into 11 o'clock tonight, it begins to move toward Roanoke, of course, the Outer Banks, and then there's another disturbance spinning across Kentucky by Thursday, as I have Thursday's high, about 48. It's a little colder, a lot cooler by the time we move into Thursday, and then some drops and flakes may develop on Friday. That's something we'll be watching. Maybe they spin into a town near you. Now, as far as the futurecast, pick out your favorite town. It is 9:30 here till about midday. Still some rain showers. We're near 60 by lunchtime, but the showers just don't really play a role in Jamestown or Crossville at 3:30 Eastern time. They may be in the valley, certainly Morristown, but you'll see maybe 2/3 of the viewing area dealing with drops, while areas west of Wartburg may be pretty much dry or done for the day outside of clouds. You'll still have some clouds in Cumberland County. Notice up toward Jonesville, some rain moving through tonight, trying to push away. And if we get any spots of rain on Wednesday, I think it's going to be well east of I-75 on Wednesday. But then the sun breaks out. We'll go from clouds to sun tomorrow. Highs on Wednesday now, about 57 degrees. So about 57 for a high. I see it on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I think the drops of rain are a little slower getting in here. So our high temperature today, I'm expecting 63. It's a gray day, just like yesterday. I know, boo. But it might be what you might consider Gift Card Tuesday. Or, hey, I got to change back that sweater because it wasn't the right size type of day. Maybe that's on your palate. Maybe that's on your schedule. You're going back to the stores to spend some money or to exchange something, and I get that. But just know it's probably not going to be the best of looking days. It's going to be rather gray, and you might want an umbrella, certainly an umbrella to take with you if you're heading out the door. High temperature today, 61 the Follett, about 63 for Knoxville, though, 66 for Newport.
And if you're on the call, let me know. I'd love to hear some of your comments. I see, Wanda Poe talking about my tie. She says, oh, like your tie, go Vols. And she says, that eggnog goes at Weigel's pretty quick. Get it while you can. I agree. I agree, Wanda. You got to get it fast. Linda Rice says, good morning, David. Have a great day. And if you're on YouTube, let me know, as I've been enjoying seeing some of your pictures here. So I got a note. Steven Snyder says he switched over to help you on YouTube and send snow my way. Thank you, Steven. Steven's in Texas, I believe, right now, so he's enjoying maybe some of the warmth that some of you crave, at least in East Tennessee. We don't always get warmth in and around Christmas, but we did have it this year compared to last year. Polar opposite. Isn't that interesting? We had 1.5 inches of snow on this very day last year. Didn't that remember my recollection? 1.6. You remember at the airport, those who in Jacksboro or Rocky Top, you got nothing. Lake City, nothing, right? Because so last year I'm talking about, last 26th of December. So think about this. And we were 30 degrees for a high, 12 for a low last Christmas. But this Christmas, 65. Maybe we have some hope that this is a wintry, snowy winter. Be prepared that it could be vastly different in this El Nino pattern, among other variables. High temperature today if you're traveling. Nashville, 54. 61 Charlotte. If you're headed to Memphis, high temperature there about 52. Here's our tonight forecast. 7:01. I've gone a little long. Cloudy, fog with rain showers, 47. The light and variable winds, 35 for a high in Jamestown tonight, or low, excuse me. Low temperature tonight in Jamestown, 35. 38 for Oneida. Notice the difference in lows. So if you're west of I-75, you're in the 30s to near 40. And if you're east of Knoxville, you'll be in the mid to upper 40s for low temperatures. So a big difference simply because of the slow moving front. Here is your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. So 57 tomorrow, 48 on Thursday, and I got drops and flakes on Friday. Of course, we bring in the new year. Our Vols will be on television if you're not traveling to Orlando, but I do have a colder start to the new year. We got a high of 44 with a few showers potential. Of course, we'll revisit that going into this week. So I'll be revisiting that today, the forecast into the new year. So very thankful for you and very thankful for Weigel's. Of course, their eggnog is back. It's yummy, rich, and creamy. There's only a few days left. Only a few days left of 2023. And if you crave having an extra bottle of eggnog in the refrigerator, now's the time to grab it. It is Tennessee's favorite eggnog in East Tennessee. And we love it because it's just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24, and it's just better when it's with cows, Tennessee cows, very specifically Tennessee cows. And don't forget, you can grab a cup of coffee, hot coffee this morning, if in fact you are needing to warm up at Weigel's near you. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, and I hope you had a great holiday. We'll see you here next time. Take care.